pyramids today. So, excuse me, the sippy sounded. Um, all you people think that and I keep hearing the Egyptians built the pyramids, the slaves built the pyramids. That's so stupid, right? Egypt was a very small time frame, and they didn't go too far from. They thought the whole world was like the whole known world was just that little circle in the middle. Um, so they they didn't really go to everywhere in the earth and build pyramids, right? So they weren't in Bosnia building the Great Pyramids. They weren't up in the North Pole digging through the fucking glaciers and then building the pyramids and then letting them get frozen under the snow. They certainly didn't go under the ocean in the coast of Newfoundland or at the center of the Bermuda Triangle. Bermuda Triangle. The center of the Bermuda Triangle, right? Like, and then the Mayan pyramids and all that stuff. Like, they didn't have time to travel all over the fucking world and build these pyramids. No. And the technology that's in there. See, that's the other problem is you guys have no comprehension of what a fucking pyramid is. I'm going to try to keep this short, but educate yourselves. For fuck's sakes. Look up the Great Bosnian Pyramid. Pyramid of the Sun, I believe. See, when they started excavating around it, they found all kinds of fucking fascinating things. So, first off, the plant life that live around it have a higher cell count. So do the animals because of something. Well, they're eating the plants, eating each other. So you can say that the people there probably do as well. The people that went there to dig and work there said that all their chronic pain went away. Back pain, neck pains, arthritis, all these things alleviated or disappeared while they were there. And any of them that suffered depression or whatever said that just went away too. Most of our Earth's frequency right now is somewhere between a 13 and a 16 because of our technologies. The Earth used to run around a 7. When you go to the pyramids and you're near them, the frequency changes. It drops dramatically and it's way down. It's close to the 7. When you look at the frequency through Radion cameras that can fucking see that shit, the waves run horizontally around the planet. They're just like this everywhere on Earth, right? And then when you get to the pyramid, it goes just like that, and it just shoots straight up. And does whatever with it, but essentially it lowers the frequency right around the pyramid. And we get all these beneficial health things from it. Now, to think that the Egyptians built that with slave labor, that they were actually overworking the slaves, and if you didn't meet your quota, they would of bricks in a day, they'd put your kids in the walls and mortar them in, and you think what, that they built the pyramids under that oppression and that kind of fucking work and everything, and that they still stand today? Are you retarded? Now, all the ruins around the pyramids that we find, yeah, they built that shit. Most of it fell the fuck down. because of shoddy craftsmanship, because they kept upping the workload every month, every week, every couple days. They kept upping the workload to try to wear these people down and get them to stop breeding. But then they were raping their wives when the guys went to work and wondering why they're still having all these babies. And then we think, dummies all think that Hebrews are African American. They're not. They're Hebrews. Anyhow, so the pyramids were built before the flood. That's how they can be in places where they're under the ocean, in places where they're under the ice mountains and glaciers, in the permafrost, right? And they're everywhere on Earth. And we probably built some replicas because there's some small ones here and there. But we didn't get it right. We didn't build them right. They don't actually operate the way the main ones do. And then there's criteria of a pyramid that nobody seems to know about as well. There has to be underground waterways and rivers running underneath of the pyramid, which is whatever. That's significant, but it's not that big. There's underground walking trails that go for miles in every direction underneath all the pyramids. And then there's like these big, in the waterways, they had these big, at least in the Bosnian pyramid, these big reservoirs that the water could run through that were filled with minerals and crystals, which mineralized and crystallized the water. And then there was like benches, like sitting benches, so you could sit all around this thing and soak your feet or whatever, and have the water run past your legs and stuff. And then underneath of that, they also have to have volcanic lines running underneath of every pyramid. And which is way beyond anything that fucking Egyptians could have done. Like, they couldn't have figured out where those volcanic lines were under the fucking ground. There was some other knowledge, technologies and shit there in place. And then just that the pyramids do all this frequency stuff and all this other shit, and what's inside them and the way it all works, and that we can't figure it all out at all. We don't understand it, or at least we probably do. We're just not allowed to know, right? It's probably hidden. The actual answers are probably hidden from us because it would show all the it would show all of their lie, right? If you were to say, okay, well, here's all the information about the pyramids to everyone, then everyone would be like, okay, well, they were placed there by God. Or they were built by the angels directly, like God, under God's tutelage and whatever, right? Because just too much tech there. And the fact that they're all sealed and they've got all these certain damages and things on them, shows that they were all through a flood, and the flood plugged them up with mud and buried them and did this and that. So they're still working technically, but not really, not like they did before. And they probably, if they were all working, would regulate the frequency of the earth perfectly over the entire thing, right? Like the entire surface of the flat earth Anyhow, totally fascinating stuff. I'll put a link in the description to the Bosnian pyramid video that I'm talking about. Have a good day, YouTube. God bless.